The Sweet Spot is brought to you by Dothan Cosmetic Dentistry and Westside Auto Care. Welcome to Solo Shots from the Sweet Spot, brought to you by Dothan Cosmetic Dentistry and Westside Auto Care. I'm your guy, Corey Bradley. Today I'm joined by my guy, Cason Eubanks, middle infielder for Wallace Community College, recently committed to Troy. We'll dive into that a little bit later, but I've been watching this guy for years. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete. You know, when you think of stud players, this is that dude right here. So I'm excited to have Cason for finally on the show, man. We've been trying to do this and link up for quite some time.
Yeah, a couple years now.
Couple years, man. You know, every time we would see each other, it seemed like it was always at Barbaritos.
Yeah,
we would see each other at Barbaritos, man, and that's one of my favorite spots. When you're there, what do you like to get?
I switch it up every now and then, but my go-to is the burrito bowl with double rice, steak, and spicy chicken.
Okay.
And then shredded lettuce, and then chipotle ranch. So that's what I usually get. Or I get a burrito on the chipotle wrap. So either one of those is kicker for me.
Man, you know, I live right down the road from Barbaritos on Brandon Stand. And so, man, when I go in, they know my face.
Yeah.
They know me. They see me. And they're like, burrito today? I'm like, yeah, give me a burrito, double chicken, cheese, green peppers. Yep. And every now and then I'm with you. I may switch up to a burrito bowl.
Yeah.
Nachos if I'm feeling it. I mean, a lot of times I'm not feeling that much as far as everything that comes with nachos and how that kind of weighs on you throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to be in a super hungry mood and ready to put all that in. But typically I just stay to my burrito too. Man. Yeah. So in this next segment, we're going to call it On Deck. Ask a few questions, kind of let people know you, the person. Okay. You know, some of you, they've seen you as a player. Yeah. They may not know you, the person. So ask a few questions to let our listeners and our viewers get a chance to know Cason Eubanks. All right.
I got you.
All right. So staying on the topic of food, if you could eat one food for 30 days straight, what would it be?
Probably my dad's chicken and green bean casserole.
Yeah.
He's been cooking that since I was a little kid. Got it from his grandma that passed away like 2015. So I've been eating that for a long time, and I could eat it every day if I wanted to. So it's a good meal to have, good protein, and so I could definitely eat that for 30 days straight.
Man, dude, it's funny that you mentioned your parent, your dad, Brent, right?
Yes, sir.
So when I thought about this question, there's a few things that came to mind. Yeah. But I had to narrow it down, and the way I did it was actually with my mom too. Right. So I love steak.
Yeah,
I eat steak every day.
Yeah,
I love a grilled burger. We're getting ready for 4th of July here in a few coming days, man. So the way we do it back home, we bring the grill out for the first holiday of the year, Memorial Day.
Right.
And then the last holiday is Labor Day. Yeah. So I can eat a grilled burger every day. I love grilled food, especially a grilled burger.
Oh yeah.
But my mom's chicken Alfredo, man. Dude, my mom's chicken Alfredo is the best. Like when I was at Auburn, she would come down, whip up a huge pot before she went back to Madison, Alabama, man. So my mom's chicken Alfredo would be my food if I had to eat that 30 days straight, man. Yeah. It would never get old.
Yeah, I love me some chicken Alfredo. I can't lie. I'd eat that too 30 days straight.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, man. I was actually just talking about this the other day. I was at post-70 practice just getting some reps in and stuff yesterday. And Coach Ross, he threw a line at me from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
And it's when Coach Boone is introducing himself, and he's like, is football fun? He was like, fun, sir. And so probably Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans. I like to watch that before a lot of games. Yeah. Just, I don't know, it gives me motivation and stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely Remember the Titans. Probably my #1 movie.
Man, dude, it's funny you mentioned Remember the Titans. Me and my sister Renata, like she can remember movie lines and just certain parts of different movies like it's nothing else. And so we talk about Remember the Titans in several movies where we'll reference, like she'll just send a random reference. I'm like, Remember the Titans, or, you know, whatever.
Right.
So we always talk about, I just did my nails, you know, that part right there.
Yeah.
Dude, like we always do silly stuff, like, but that's a movie that's always been one of my favorite. Denzel Washington's my favorite actor.
Yep.
Anything that he is in, I'm a fan of.
Yep.
And so Remember 100%. The Titans for sure, man. I remember being in high school when that movie came out, and just anytime it came on, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a popular movie. As a substitute teacher would always show that too, because that gets everybody involved.
Right. Yeah.
Favorite baseball movie?
Okay.
Do that since we're talking baseball.
Probably Sandlot.
Okay.
OG movie.
Yeah.
Definitely Sandlot. I've watched. I don't know if you know. There's like 3 of them, and I've watched every single one of them. But the original one, definitely, original Sandlot is my favorite.
Yeah.
Or Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I like that movie a lot too.
Yeah.
So, but definitely Sandlot.
Yeah.
Sandlot's. I have probably watched that movie over 100 times. So.
Mine would be Little Big League, man.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Man, being a manager of the Twins, and you know, the mom that played. Fun fact: the mom that played on that show, on that movie, that's Pete Crow Armstrong's mother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So Pete Crow Armstrong, currently with the Cubs, was part of that Mets deal, traded for Javi Baez. Pete Crow Armstrong, his mom is the actress in that movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So Little Big League is my movie for sure. Anytime that's on MLB Network, I'm gonna watch a few minutes. I may not watch all of it, but I'm gonna watch some of it for sure. And my guy Ken Griffey Jr. was on there too.
Oh yeah, so that's a good movie. I like that one too. That's definitely my top 3.
Yeah.
Definitely my top 3.
What who's your favorite current athlete?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Favorite current athlete?
I'd probably have to say Francisco Lindor.
Okay.
Just because he plays the position I play, and I like to watch a lot of his fielding drills, videos, and stuff, and just how he thinks before, like while fielding the ground ball and stuff like that, and what his footwork is and all that stuff. So definitely, probably Francisco Lindor.
So have you always been a fan of his, even to his days back in Cleveland, or is it more recent with New York?
Just recently. I see a lot of videos of him fielding ground balls and stuff, and I like to watch him field ground balls. It's a work of art, honestly. That's why he's one of the best shortstops out there. But probably recently, I've been watching his videos a lot and just taking notes on how he goes about his business.
Man, first of all, I need a timeout because this guy mentioned his favorite current athlete based on his fielding, his defense. When in a world where everything is about offense and scoring runs and scoring points and touchdowns, this is why Cason is Cason. Like, he is talking about Francisco Lindor for not what he does at the plate, but what he does in the field. So, man, just kudos to you for that, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I take defense really seriously. Yeah. Obviously, hitting's definitely a part of it. I mean, I had a big year at the plate this year. But, I mean, I think defense wins championships.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't make the routines, then something's wrong. So I definitely take pride in my defense and how I go about my business on the field.
If you were an MLB GM and you had to start your franchise with any player, like all players are available, who are you taking? If you had the number 1 selection, who is your guy to build your franchise around?
Like, I can pick from any team?
Anybody. Everybody's available.
Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar, boy.
My guy.
Hey, another Bama guy, man. Right. Dude, that dude's, man, the Orioles are special, man. Yeah. And it starts with him, man. Yeah. They're loaded.
Yeah, they are.
They literally went from one of the worst teams in MLB to now one of the best and youngest at the same time, man. The Orioles, I love that selection, man. Gunner's special.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot. I don't know if you knew this, but Pike, before I went to Pike, 2019, they actually played Gunner because he went to Morgan Academy. Yeah. And they played Gunner in the state championship game.
Wow.
Or the 3-game series.
Yeah.
And Morgan beat him the first game, and then Pike came back and beat him the last 2.
Wow.
Yeah. But definitely Gunner would be my choice. Yeah. He's young. He has a lot of potential. I mean, he just got, what was it, NL Rookie of the Year. So definitely Gunner. He has a lot of potential,
man. Dude, I love that, man. I love the way you think, man. I love the way you think, for sure. You got Lindor, you got Gunnar Henderson. Now, we're talking about these athletes that in today's world, sometimes they don't get recognized for the right reasons, and I love the guys that you have mentioned as kind of role models in a way, as you watch them and you look up to them, how they carry themselves on the field, how they carry themselves off the field also. So you would start your franchise with Gunnar Henderson. I can't knock you for that, man. I can't knock you for that. Now, Who's the best player though? Who's the best player currently in the game today? You hear so many different things and different people and everybody has different takes, but who's the best player in the MLB game today?
That's a really tough one. Honestly, I'm a Braves fan.
Yeah.
I think either Mookie Betts or Ronald Acuna.
There you go. Okay.
So I think Mookie's coming up. He's definitely. I think he'll win an MVP in the coming years, and he's a hot player right now.
Yeah.
So probably either Mookie or Ronald.
Man, I love Mookie. That's my dude, man.
Yeah.
Like for real, I was hoping with anybody said now. There's obviously other people. So hey, you have guys. Some people mention Mike Trout. You have Aaron. Somebody mentioned Aaron Judge. I'm like, no, Aaron Judge is not the best player.
Nah.
Like, amazing hitter for sure, but anytime anyone mentions Mookie Betts, man, you can see how big the smile is on my face. Like, I love Mookie. This is a guy that goes from right field to second to short and doesn't miss a beat and is an all-star in every position he plays.
Right.
Like, he's just one of those guys, man. One of those dudes who, wherever you put him, he gets it done and does it to the best of his ability and is still the best one on the field night in, night out. So when, you played second base, you played short.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about your numbers.
Okay.
But before we get into your numbers, let's get into the number.
Okay.
Number 2, man. The number 2 that you wear, you worn it at Northside.
Yep.
Pike Lib, you wore it in football.
Mm-hmm.
You wore 22
in
baseball.
Right.
You wore number 2 at Post 70, number 2 here at Wallace.
Yep.
What's up with the number 2?
Man. So when I was at Northside, my 8th grade year, I had, you've heard of Austin Thrasher.
Hey, shout out to Austin. Look, that's another guy too. We're going to make this happen. When you get back in Dothan, Alabama, come find me. Going to have him a sweet spot. Man, you and Austin for sure have been 2 guys I've been saying for years and have been in my list.
Yep.
So, Austin, you're next. Let me know when you get back to Dothan. But continue. Austin Thrasher, shout out, dude.
So, I was number 8 when I first got Northside. I've always been number 8. And Austin was just a guy I looked up to a lot. He graduated my 8th grade year. And after my 8th grade year, I was starting shortstop for varsity. And I told Coach Schumann, I was like, I want to be number 2. And it just always stuck.
Yeah.
I looked up to Austin. He was a great role model. Mm-hmm. I still look up to him to this day in his Christian walk and his faith, but and a baseball player as well. But I just always looked up to him, and I guess everybody could say I always wanted to be like him. Yeah. I mean, to a point, he's not a bad person to be like.
Man, that's the one.
So, but yeah, he wore number 2, and so I just thought I would take on his reins and wear number 2, and it just always stuck.
Yeah.
I actually have number 2 on the back of my truck tag, so It says Ube2 on it. Ube's my nickname. Everybody calls me that, so it says Ube2 on it. But yeah, that's where number 2 came from.
Man, and we talking about role models. We talked about Lindor and Henderson. This is homebred right here. We're talking about Austin Thrasher and Cason Eubanks. I know Austin personally myself, man, and so when you said that, there couldn't be a statement more true. So Austin, when you get back in Dothan, man, you got your seat saved and reserved here on the Sweet Spot. So let me know when you come back in and let people get a chance to hear your story, your testimony as well. So here on the Sweet Spot, Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot. What's your Sweet Spot moment? Like, there's nothing better when this happens in the game of baseball. What's your Sweet Spot moment? Like, obviously you got the sweet spot of the bat, which is the reason for the name of the show.
Right.
What's your sweet spot moment? Like, when this happens, when this occurs, just gives you chills, gives you goosebumps. What's your sweet spot moment?
Probably just stepping on the field before game starts.
Yeah.
Probably. Every time ran right here, every single home game, break it down, run to shortstop, I just got chills. The same song playing every time. Definitely gave me chills. Just knowing I could come out here and play the game every day, still gives me chills. Yeah. I go hit and gives me chills. Coming back here gives me chills. Just all the moments we made, memories we made here. So definitely just being able to step on the field just gives me chills. I love to play the game. I honor the game, and so that's probably what gives me chills the most. Yeah. Obviously, hitting home runs is cool and all that stuff, but I'm just blessed to be able to play the game. And I was gonna say first game of the year, first at bat of the year, hitting a home run. was pretty cool. Gave me a lot of chills. Probably said some stuff I wasn't supposed to, but that was just emotions rising and all that stuff. But definitely just being able to step on this field and play the game that I love and always will love. So that definitely gives me chills.
So as you share your sweet spot moment, you talked about Pike Lib. Your senior year there, 1 year there.
Yep.
There's nothing sweeter than going out as state baseball champs and state football champs.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, some people never experience what it's like to play in a championship game, let alone win it in 2 different sports in his only year at Pike Lib. So talk about how special that group was and just the impact that those coaches, those players, the student body had on your life, and just what that 1 year at Pike Lib was like.
I'll start off with baseball. Coming up, I was everybody knew me from Pike, and they always wanted me to come play for them, even when Coach Ponders was there. And Mom never let me because it's an hour away, and I was 16, 15 at the time, and she didn't want her baby going off like that. So finally, senior year or summer to going into senior year came around. I was playing with Post 70 first year. And we were at a tournament, and Coach Rush, shout out Coach Rush, he was talking to my mom, and he was like, "Are you gonna let him come?" And so we were in the hotel. Mom was like, "Do you really want to go to Pike?" I was like, 100%. And definitely a decision that changed my life for sure. Just the student body there, the parents there, I stepped on campus for the first time, and it was like I was just welcome. Like I'd been there for 14 years. And but back to baseball, the coaches, Coach Mann, Coach Ross, Coach Rush, they left an impact on my life. I see them all the time and talk to Coach Ross and Coach Rush almost every single day. And they're like second parents to me. I wouldn't trade it for the world. They definitely made me fall in love with the game even more. Just the way that they approach their coaching and approach how they coach, not just being better baseball players, but being better men. And so that definitely changed my life for sure, just being there. But we had a special group that year. Drew Nelson went to Auburn, Chris Jeffcoat went to Pensacola State. I mean, we had a crazy group, and I wouldn't trade that year for the world. I still go back and reminisce on it sometimes, but can't live in the past. Gotta live where your feet are. But definitely, baseball definitely did change my life and had an impact on my life. Football, same thing. Coach White, he was a great coach. I didn't know if I was gonna play football. And I came there. He was like, "I need you to play football." And so he was like, "I want you to play football." I was like, "All right." Ended up being starting quarterback, which I was starting quarterback at Northside. So definitely a thing to remember for sure is winning football state championship as well. Just those two teams, being on those two teams definitely gave me moments to remember, memories, and definitely changed my life for sure.
Man, when you left Northside to go to Pike Lib, obviously I follow you on Instagram and try to keep tabs with local student athletes in the area, and I'm like, man, this dude goes to Pike Lib in 1 year and wins a state championship baseball and football. Like, obviously they have a rich tradition, very prestigious. But when you add someone like this and a game changer, an X factor who you've heard the things that he's said about sports, but also just about being a good person, a good teammate, and the love of the game. He's one that doesn't leave anything on the field. Like, this dude will bleed and cry for your team because this is who he is. He is a man of God. He is all about showing and best exemplifying those gifts and skills, talents God has given him. And man, dude, I can't imagine. Like I said, I haven't been a part of a championship team other than one time. I shout out to my Hornets a couple years ago in basketball. Man, we were undefeated. That was the last time I've been a part of a championship team, and that was even. It's like, man, it's 11, 12 year man. My 11, 12 year old kids, I love those, man. I love those kids because it's not about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as a coach, it's not about me. It's about the players. You want to win for them.
Right.
You know, it's not about me. I want these guys to be happy and excited, and the smiles on their faces and the work we put in and see how it all comes together.
Right.
So amazing that you wanted to shout out your coaches, give them the props, because everything starts with them, and they don't do it for themselves. The good ones, the great ones, the best ones do it for the players, and they get a chance to be an impact for them on the field, off the field, and just showing them how to be men and men of God. So, man, I appreciate you recognizing your coaches, because everything starts with those men and women who take the time to help you become the best that you can be on and off the field.
Yeah, for sure.
So you left there, you signed with Georgia Southern.
Right.
Talk about that 1 year and how the lessons that you learned on the field, but also as an individual, as a person.
Right.
Because I know that was a trying time, obviously.
Yeah.
Just kind of speak on that for a second.
Yeah, I will say it definitely humbled me really quickly. It's hard going from being starting shortstop on every team you've been on to, I'll be honest, not even being able to put on a jersey.
Yeah.
So it definitely did a number on me for sure. I wasn't sure. I know during Easter that year, I came back home. I was like, I don't even know if I want to play no more. Like, it really did a number on me, and I knew that wasn't the right decision. But it definitely changed my way of thinking about the game. But I definitely learned a lot of lessons. I learned that the game really speeds up when you quit, especially going from high school to a Division I program.
Yeah.
Sped up on me fast. And but thank God I was able to go there, because I learned a lot. I learned what it takes to be at that level. I learned the work ethic it takes to be at that level. And the coaches there were great. They I love every single one of them. Coach Hennon, he was a great guy. I really looked up to him. But obviously that wasn't the right fit for me, and God showed me that.
Yeah.
But God definitely had me there for a reason, to learn and to become a better person, and try to be more humble. Because I'll be honest, I like to I don't talk about myself a lot, but I mean, you got to have confidence, especially in this game. Like, you got to, like, nobody's gonna beat me. Yeah. There ain't a pitcher on that mound that can beat me, and that's how I go about things. And I mean, it makes you a better person, or a better player. But going there definitely humbled me. So that's definitely what I learned from going up to Georgia Southern.
So you learned humility at Georgia Southern, came back home to Dothan and played for Wallace Community College here.
Right.
Had a phenomenal year. I mean, you were Alabama Community College Conference Player of the Year. Hit 378, 8 home runs, 41 RBIs, 28 doubles that led the nation, and also led the nation in extra base hits, 3 triples, 10 stolen bases, 65 runs in 52 games played. I had to kind of take a breath myself when I looked at those numbers, and as I recite those numbers to you. But Cason, for yourself, man, the season that you had on the field, talk about what comes to mind as I relate those stats and numbers to you that I'm sure you were already aware of.
Right.
What comes to mind when you hear those numbers in the season that you had?
Wow, definitely. I mean, coming back here, looking at this field, just remembering everything I did here. It definitely takes your breath away. Like, I never thought I'd come here and put up those stupid numbers like that first year being here, especially after not playing a whole year at Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
And but yeah, definitely wow. But I give props to Coach Eiley, or Ryan. I like to call him Ryan.
Yeah.
I love Coach. He's a man. I wouldn't want to play for another coach. He gave me a chance to fall in love back to the game.
Yeah.
Especially after coming from Georgia Southern and not know if I was going to hang him up or not. But yeah, I guess God had a reason for me to come here. He definitely showed me that once I get knocked back down, there's always back up.
Yeah.
And that this year was coming back up on my feet. he gave me a lot of tests, but it was for the better. I wouldn't been able to put up those numbers like I did if it wasn't for going to Georgia Southern and learning. But definitely this year was special.
Yeah.
Told you I just grabbed dirt for my mom at shortstop. But not only for her, but that's for me too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade this place for the world. I really wanted to come back, but I just know that God was telling me that I needed to go to Troy, and so that's why I made a decision, because I had another year here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't have another offer, I would be back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It definitely, the coaches here definitely changed the way that I go about things. Just being appreciative of being to come out here. But yeah, the numbers I put up this year, whereas I definitely give all the glory to God, because there ain't no way I'd been able to done that without Him.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wow, it's a crazy year. Crazy year.
Absolutely, it's a stupid year, man. Like, and that's all from the leadoff spot, man. So for a second before we dive into Troy, take me through your approach as the leadoff position has changed tremendously,
right,
over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
When you have Kyle Schwarber leading off for the Phillies, like,
right,
stuff like that. But what's your approach when you're at the plate and being the table setter? What's going through your mind as you're setting the tone for the boys?
Man, honestly, just trying to get a pitch that I can hit.
Yeah.
Try to hit hard somewhere. I mean, I let off, I want to say, like 3 or 4 games this year with a home run, and probably half of my doubles were leadoff doubles. So I'm already starting on second base.
Yeah.
Before even one out, and that's already runner in scoring position.
Huge.
So, definitely just seeing a pitch early in the count, that I can hit hard somewhere. That's my approach. Now I'm looking for a fastball first pitch. I didn't get a lot of those this year, especially after going stupid like I did. got a lot of first pitch breaking balls, so I had to adjust. But just definitely seeing a pitch that I can drive, or seeing a lot of pitches and come back and tell my teammates how they look and all that stuff, which is usually what a leadoff spot is. Yeah. But I guess that wasn't the case for me, because I hit a lot of leadoff home runs and leadoff doubles and stuff like that, especially like first or second pitch. So I didn't, but yeah, just definitely trying to set the table for the guys. I mean, I know if I was behind the leadoff guy and I saw him hit a leadoff home run first pitch or a leadoff double, then that gives me confidence as well. Be like, oh, I can hit this guy too. Yeah. So definitely just being a table setter. I led off every single game this year, which was a blessing, because I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. I love leading off. I love setting the table for the guys, getting the energy going in here in the dugout. So, but yeah, just trying to see a pitch that I can hit hard somewhere. That's about it.
So your recent commitment to Troy, it takes two there, right? Troy has to be interested. You got to be interested too.
Right.
So why is Troy the right choice for you in the next chapter that God has for you in your life?
Yeah. I've always wanted to play at Troy. Yeah. That's just always been a dream of mine. Even when the old coaching staff was there before Coach Meade and all of them. But definitely going up to Pike my senior year had a decision making into that. Just being around Troy my senior year, all the families that I met, it was a life-changing experience. I already said that, but definitely had me leaning towards Troy, and I've always wanted to play at Troy. And so when I first came here, I told CJ, our pitching coach, he was like, what are the schools, if they offered you, that you would leave after this year? Because I had another year this year to come back here. Yeah. I was like, Troy. And I just said Troy. And I mean, little did I know they were going to offer me towards the end of the season. So I guess they kind of knew that I was going to make that decision to go to Troy, but it just feels like home. I mean, I say Troy's my second home. I go up there all the time. It's a small town. I love small towns.
Me too.
And definitely just feels like home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade that place for the world. I have a lot of memories there, and looking forward to make some more memories there.
With everything that you've achieved, not just this past year at Wallace, but man, you've been blessed, man. You know, you have your gifts, skills, and talents that God's given you. Not everyone's an athlete, not everyone's athletic, not everyone's coordinated, and not everyone can do it at a high level or consistency or efficient. How are you able to keep God centered through all of this, man? Out of everything that you've accomplished to this point, how are you able to keep God in the midst of all that?
I definitely give props to my mom for that. She's always pushed me to stay in the Word. I read my Bible every night. I'm actually reading Proverbs right now. But yeah, just knowing that I wouldn't be able to step on this field without him. I mean, I could have been born with a disability or something like that, but he had a plan for me to be on this field and change lives on this field. So I guess just knowing that he did that for me, it's able to give me faith in him and that he has control of everything. And before making that decision to go to Troy, I probably prayed like 6 times a day. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Because I mean, obviously coaches were pushing me or wanted me to stay here. They weren't really pushing me. They were just pushing me to make my own decision. But they wanted me back. And after losing the state tournament, I wanted to be back. I wanted to come back and do it again with the coaches and do it for them. But I just prayed. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? And sat there. I sat for a while and just thought. And I told Coach Ryan, I was like, I want to come back after we lost. I told him in the hotel after we lost, I was like, I want to come back. And it just didn't feel right. I felt uneasy with myself. A lot of anxiety at that moment. This Monday, Tuesday, coming back from Oxford, Monday, Tuesday, I had exams, final exams. I was done, and so it didn't feel right. Just making that decision didn't feel right, and so that's when I started praying. I was like, God, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And finally, Coach Ross, I was praying. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And Coach Ross, he was like, can you talk? He was like, can I call you? I was like, yeah. And I don't know, I guess God told him to call me because God knew that I was uneasy, and I guess he had the feeling I was uneasy as well. And he called me, man. We had like a 30-minute conversation just about everything. He was like, he said one thing that stuck with me. He was like, don't let your emotions make your decision. And I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God's definitely telling me that I need to go to Troy. And so that's what helped me make the decision the most.
Man, I'm just speechless, man. Just hearing you speak on your relationship with God and how you sought him as much as you wanted to go to Troy.
Right.
It's like, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I just want to follow your lead, be obedient to you, follow your will. But that's my daily prayer. I want to be aware of the Holy Spirit and be obedient to the Holy Spirit. And that's exactly what you did. And that uneasiness helped you realize, okay, this isn't the right step. Because any decision led by God brings peace. It's the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. And you knew you were uneasy about that, and you were aware of that. And as you mentioned, God knows how to bring a person, a thing, or whatever to get your attention,
for sure,
to lead you. But you got to be aware and be seeking his guidance first of all. If you're one that just, I'm going to do whatever I want, this is my life, it doesn't matter, I'll seek God when I'm in trouble, that whole spare tire type approach, nah. Let God have the steering wheel and you just sit back and let him lead and be okay with where he's guiding you, because that's where your growth in him really flourishes, because you're trusting him. God, I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know the right move. I can see left. I can see right. But which way is right is the best way, and the only way is what you have for me. So, man, I commend you for that. Just of seeking Him
Right.
and aware of he's always on time.
That's right.
He knew how to get your attention. He knew who could bring it to you, and you needed it in that moment.
That's right.
Cason, man, as we close Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot, if you could share advice to your peers, maybe some who look up to you just like you looked up to Austin Thrasher,
right?
Those who are looking to achieve their goals, their dreams, maybe dealing with some doubt right now.
Right.
If there's something that you would want to share to them, because I wanted to say not only your younger student athletes or younger people, but man, adults can learn from, you know what I'm saying? Like, It's not about age.
Yeah.
So, but if there's something that you wanted to share as far as chasing your dreams,
right,
whether it's sports related or not, what would you like to share with our listeners and our viewers today?
I would just say, just never give up. I learned that being at Georgia Southern. I was thinking about giving it up, and God definitely had a different story for me to tell. And so just don't give up. I mean, even if you're at your uneasy times, I have a Bible verse tattooed right here. It's my life verse. It's 2 Timothy 1:7. It's, for God didn't give a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And anytime I'm feeling any anxiety or uneasiness or anything like that, I just say that Bible verse over and over and over in my head. And He makes that uneasiness go away, either by showing me something or leading me this way or whatever it is. But yeah, just never give up. Chase your dreams. I mean, my dream as a kid was always to play Division I baseball and make it farther, if God willing. But just never give up. I think that's about it.
Man, this is amazing. This is how amazing God is.
Oh yeah.
That same scripture, I was reciting that on the way here today.
Really?
No lie, man.
Wow.
Because I'm like, man, I hadn't done an interview in a minute. You know, It's been a couple months, and me and Case have been trying to do this for a couple years. So I want to make sure I do it right, make sure it's presented in a efficient manner. And man, I was praying that same scripture and reciting that same scripture, man. So
that's cool.
Like I said, God is sovereign, man. God is amazing. Everything that we, I don't even know, man. You can just see the smile on my face and how much it means to hear those type of things come out of your mouth. Just the type of person that you are and how you continue to grow in your spiritual walk, in your emotional walk, physically, mentally, everything, man. Right. So, dude, I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
Super proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot, brought to you by Dothan Cosmetic Dentistry and Westside Auto Care. I'm your host, Corey Bradley. Cason Eubanks, middle infielder for Wallace Community College, getting ready to head to Troy in the fall. Man, I'm excited to see what God does for you, does through you, and I'll be keeping tabs, man. I pray I can make it up to Troy here soon and come check a game, because, man, you're that guy. You're that guy. But as long as you make sure you keep God first, your proper place, right. And He has so many more things in store for you, man. So, Cason, I'm proud of you, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.